You know, every single company that wants to grow, I mean, really grow, faces this one big decision. Get it right and you're flying, but get it wrong, well, it can sink the whole ship. And the thing is, most companies have this blind spot, this default setting that just leads them down the wrong path over and over again. It all really just boils down to this one simple question. When you absolutely need something new to compete, a new piece of tech, a new skill, access to a whole new market, how in the world do you get what you don't already have? So maybe you need some new software to get ahead of the competition. Or hey, you're trying to expand into Europe for the first time. Maybe your customers are just begging for a new product line. You know what you need, but the how? That's where things get messy. Do you try and build it yourself, from the ground up? Or maybe you borrow it through some kind of partnership or licensing deal. Or do you just go out and buy another company that already has it? Build, borrow, or buy. Three little words, but underneath them is a whole world of strategic complexity. So, how do you actually choose? Well, that's what we're going to dig into. We're going to break down this really powerful framework that helps you cut through all that noise and find the right path for your specific situation. And here it is, the Build, Borrow, Buy framework. It's basically a model for closing what strategists call a strategic resource gap, which, let's be honest, is just a fancy way of saying the gap between what you have and what you need. The point is, it forces you to actually think through all three options instead of just doing what feels comfortable. Now here's the crucial part. None of these paths is always the best. Nope. Each one comes with its own set of awesome advantages and some really serious risks. The real secret is knowing which path to pick and when. So, let's break them down. First up, we've got Build. Just think of this as the ultimate corporate DIY project. You're using your own people, your own tech, your own know-how to create something brand new, all in-house. What's so interesting here is the push and pull. I mean, building is a fantastic choice when you're basically just improving on something you're already great at. But the downsides? Whoa, they're huge. For starters, it is almost always the slowest way to get there. And even worse, companies are often way too confident. They fall for that not invented here syndrome, this idea that if we didn't make it, it can't be any good. They just don't know what they don't know until it's way, way too late. Okay, so if building is too slow or you just don't have the right skills, you might look at borrowing. This path is all about teamwork. Instead of making it from scratch, you find a partner who already has what you need and you figure out a way to work together. And as you can see, borrowing isn't some one-size-fits-all deal. It's more of a spectrum. On one end, you've got really simple contracts, super transactional. But on the other end, you have these deep, complex alliances where you're really in it together. The deeper you go, the bigger the potential payoff, but man, the risks and the headaches go up too. Borrowing is great when you need to stay flexible and what you need is tradable. You can easily spell it out in a contract, like getting a specific part for a product you're building. The big risk, though, you lose control. Your partner's goals might suddenly change, or, and this is a big one, they could learn all your trade secrets and become your next big competitor. Ouch. So if you can't build it, and you're too worried about the risks of borrowing, that leaves us with the most dramatic option of all, buy. This is when you find a company that has exactly what you need and you just acquire them. You swallow them whole. The biggest reason to buy? Speed. It is the ultimate shortcut. You can literally acquire years of research and market knowledge in a single deal. But that shortcut has a massive price tag. And I'm not just talking about money. The real hard work starts after the deal is signed. Trying to merge two completely different company cultures, well, it's one of the hardest things to do in business. In fact, the numbers here are just staggering. Over 70% of all acquisitions actually fail to create any real value. Why? Well, you get culture clashes, key people just walk out the door, and all those synergies that looked so great on the PowerPoint slides, they turn out to be a total fantasy. So the stakes are obviously super high. How do you make the right call? How do you avoid these massive pitfalls? Well, luckily, the framework gives us a really clear set of questions to guide our thinking. This little decision tree makes it so much simpler. Here's how it goes. First, you look in the mirror. Are your own internal resources actually relevant for this job? If the answer is yes, you should probably build. If it's no, then you look outside. Can you get what you need with a simple contract? If yes, you borrow. If not, maybe you need a deeper partnership, an alliance.
And it's only when none of those options work, and you absolutely have to have total control, only then should you even start thinking about buying.
Now, this whole decision process seems pretty logical, right? It's a clear, step-by-step thing. And yet, like we said, most companies just don't do it. They fall into this trap, a trap that consistently lights money on fire. So what is it? What's the single biggest mistake that leads to these billion-dollar disasters? It's not about not trying hard enough. It's not just bad luck. It's something much deeper, something we kind of hinted at in the very beginning. They get stuck on a default setting. You've seen it, right? The company with a great R&D lab, they try to build everything. The company with a slick M&A team, they try to buy their way out of every problem. That company that's obsessed with flexibility, they try to partner for everything. They just get stuck in a rut. And this quote from the researchers who actually came up with this framework, Lawrence Capron and Will Mitchell, it just says it all perfectly. When all you have is a hammer, every single strategic problem starts to look an awful lot like a nail. But growth, it's just not that simple. And that right there is the bottom line. We spend so much time obsessing over where we should grow, which markets to enter, which products to launch. But this framework is a powerful reminder that how you grow is every bit as important. Choosing the right path, that isn't just some small operational detail. It is the absolute heart of strategy.